I'm Patrick. Welcome to the do's and don'ts of hard drive handling and installation. Installing a hard drive is really quite easy, as long as you follow a few simple rules. Hard drives are delicate, with no protective shells, so you always want to handle the drive, even if it's in the box, carefully. Unlike cell phones, hard drives do not like vibrations, bumps, or bangs. If you drop it, you probably broke it. Okay, two very important notes before we touch the drive. First, be sure you're working in a very clean work environment. Think about vacuuming before starting, cleaning the work surface, closing the windows, and shoo the cat or dog out of the room for a while. And second, before you touch the drive, make sure that you always ground yourself to discharge the electrostatic energy. You can do this by touching a metal object or wearing a grounding strap. Standing on a grounded or neutral mat also works. Static electricity can severely damage the circuit board and the internal components of the hard drive, as well as your computer. Carefully unwrap and open the box, then slide out the hard drive. Do this close to the tabletop, so if something does slip, it's not going to fall far. Do not remove the drive from the electrostatic discharge bag until you're ready to install the drive into your system. If you purchase multiple drives, do not stack them on top of each other, as this can put pressure on the top of the drive. When you're ready to install the drive, carefully take it out of the ESD bag and place it on top of an ESD surface, or on top of the bag itself. This ensures that the electrostatic energy won't affect the drive. This is a good time to describe what makes up the drive before you place it into its new home. Some of these parts you can see, and others, well, you're just going to have to trust me that they are inside. On the back of the drive, you have a PCBA, or printed circuit board assembly. They come in many colors, and this drive is green. Next, we have a data connector and power connector. There are two types of data connectors, SATA and PATA, which connect to your computer through either a SATA or PATA cable for internal drives. This particular drive has the more commonly used SATA connector. Some drives may use a bridge which converts SATA or PATA connectors to a USB or FireWire connector for external drives. Now here's where you're going to have to trust me. Inside the drive there are two main parts, the disks and the heads. When a hard drive starts up, you can usually hear a low hum or feel a slight vibration. That is the motor which spins the disks. The disks, or platters, are what hold all of the data for your computer. The heads, which are located at the end of the actuator, are what read and write the data received from your computer to the disks. Similar to a vinyl record, the heads write the data from your computer onto tiny microscopic tracks on the platters. To put this into a larger scale, it would be similar to a 747 flying at 560 miles an hour at 0.8 millimeters above the ground and not hitting a blade of grass for 1,250 trips around the globe. Now you can see why a drive needs to be so precise and why it's so sensitive to shocks. This is quite an amazing piece of work. Treat it well. Now, let's get that hard drive installed into its new home. If your system requires you screw the drive into a bracket before installing it, make sure you do not over-tighten the screws, as this could cause damage. To make sure you don't strip the screws, turn the screws to the left first until you hear the screws click into place, and then turn it to the right to tighten it. Also, make sure you're using the correct screws before installing them. I find the easiest way to do this is to lay the screws out onto a table in the same position that you take them out of your computer. Never apply pressure to the top of the drive or use too much force when installing it into your desktop or notebook system. Be gentle, but firm, and do not force the drive into a space that's too small for it. When attaching cables, be gentle because connectors on drives are delicate and can be damaged or broken with excessive force. And there you have it, a new hard drive successfully installed into your computer. Just remember that the drives are delicate and should always be handled with care. If you have any further questions, please refer to our website at wd.com.